Do we have a sense? Do I have a quorum?
Yeah.
You do.
Thank you, Lee. I am interested in starting the meeting and then just kind of doing the lay of the land to the board members. We are holding this meeting very differently, obviously. And so a lot of our stuff that we would normally do at our regular board meeting, we are not going to do. So is Miss Joan on?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you, Miss Joan. I just want to let you know that my clock says it's about 6:05, and I'm calling
Okay.
to order the Board of Education meeting June 22nd at 6:05, and this is obviously continued to be a remote meeting. This is our normal time that we meet on a regular board where we do all of our voting. Because we have not been able to recognize the district and the people in the district who make us proud. Dr. Grenier and I made the decision that we were not going to do our normal sort of work in terms of looking over policy. I apologize about that, Lee. But it was going to make our meeting so much longer. And so I figured we have done so much, the district has done so much. I think we need a meeting to celebrate. We need a meeting to recognize those who have brought us to this place. And so we're going to do that. I did save, though, towards the end, this is more directed towards the board members, is I did save the comments from citizens because I do believe that this is our only time of the month that we allow to hear comments from citizens. And so I wanted to make sure that we were going to do that as well. So once again, thank you for muting the mic. Oh my goodness, and there people are coming and coming and coming and coming. So our first order of business is our Pledge of Allegiance, and there's so many. Matt, would you be willing to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I don't know if people want to unmute or just keep it muted. That's truly up to you.
You want me to lead us?
If you could, Matt.
Okay. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the
to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic which it
for which it
stands,
stands, under
nation,
under God, indivisible,
indivisible, with
with liberty and justice for all.
Matt, thank you. And you probably will never want to be that close to me on Zoom again. So, but thank you very much for your willingness of spirit. Okay, so Dr. Grenier, I'm going to bring this back to you and I. I hope the board got the email of all the people that we're going to recognize, just so that you have that, so that you know what we're going to do. In the years past, when we've been able to be in person, we've actually read some of the stuff that the principals have written. Obviously, we've actually moved away from that, and we've asked the principals to do it anyways because it's their words. And so, but we are going to continue on with that, where we're going to invite the principals. But I think the first order of business is that Dr. Grenier, we wanted to recognize the retirees, and I do believe that Beth Holler wanted to have a chance to speak. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is there? Do we have staff? Do we have admin that are as well retiring?
Say that again. Do we have admin?
Do we have administrators that are retiring as well? I just don't have the list right in front of me.
You know, I don't think we do. Well, actually, Mr. Arcarice technically, and I'm going to talk for him. But I will say this, Kim. What we decided to do, we'll let Beth chime in here, but I've asked the principals to speak in order. So we'll start with the Charles Barnum School, and they will speak about their retiree, or if they have any, or several, and then the support person and Friends of Education and so forth. So we'll start off though. Normally, as the board knows, this tonight is besides graduation, is arguably the best night of the year for us. And then the other really super night is where we meet in the cafeteria to wish farewell to the retirees. So unfortunately, we're missing both of those live ceremonies, but tonight we'll do it remotely. So I'd like to ask Beth Horler if she'd please make a few comments on behalf of the GEA.
Thank you, Dr. Grenier. First of all, I want to say congratulations to everyone, Teachers of the Year and our retirees. Normally I get to do this speech in person and I get to chat with you and deliver hugs. And as this is so 2020, we shall Zoom you into retirement. This spring was certainly a defining moment in global history and in education, but this past spring does not define your career. Sure, we built a speeding jet as it was lifting off the pandemic ship, and turning teaching on its head to online instruction was a fabulous achievement, but your achievements span so much more. For teachers, your accomplishments and achievements rest with every child you taught. For all of our retirees, every child you made to feel welcome and safe is an accomplishment and an achievement. Every connection with a parent or fellow teacher or staff member was an accomplishment to be proud of. All of those should make your heart sing. There are other accomplishments that will bring a smile or a laugh or a, thank goodness I don't have to do that again. What could those be? Well, let's talk about a few. Field days, field trips, bus trips, duty, meetings, and the meetings about meetings, and the pre-meetings about the meetings, and the post-meetings about the meetings. Waiting for the copier, or the microwave, or the bathroom. Can we just say, if that last one was an Olympic sport, teachers have that one down pat. You have seen more models of teaching, including ones that just have a new name, and you mastered those too. You've all accomplished a great deal. I'm sure you all have a list of what you want to accomplish in retirement, and I have a few suggestions. First, read whatever you want, wherever you want, whenever you want. 2, wake up whenever you wish. Ditch the alarm clock. 3, lunch. Again, whenever, wherever, whatever. And then 4, well, maybe you could sub. No? Too soon? Okay. Anyways, we truly wish all of you all of our best as you leave us. A great deal of Groton Public Schools history leaves with you this year. We will miss you all, and we will continue on this crazy education journey. Be well, be happy, and congratulations.
Thanks, Beth.
Beth, thank you very much. I always look forward to your speech. So thank you. Thank you. So, Dr. Grenier, it looks like we're going to start off with Charles Barnum.
We will start off with Charles Barnum Blue Ribbon School, and Mr. Danner is the principal, so I'll turn it over to him. Seth?
Thank you.
Good evening. We're going to start with the retiree from our school. We have 2. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Mary Jane Yolen. I'm not reading about her tonight, but she is retiring from CB along with, I think, like 10 other schools. So congratulations to you, Mary Jane. So first I'll talk about Lori Hinchy. Where do you start with Lori Hinchy? Well, she's been at Charles Barnum for over 20 years. She's been in Groton for over 30 and around 35 as an educator. To help make sense of that, she started teaching when I was in 2nd grade. She could have been my teacher. That would have been great because I asked staff to help write this, and one said she is very caring with all children, and she does an amazing job of making connections, not only with students, but with families as well. Another staff member noted how she always stood up for what is right for students and will always put their best interests before anything else. It's clear she just loves working with kids. Another great quality that Lori has is that she goes above and beyond to support staff members and will work hours at all hours of the day to help in any way she can. Countless hours of her time have been spent working with new and seasoned teachers as she provides them with her wisdom and kindness. Lori has also spent a large amount of time in the early mornings allowing me to bounce ideas off her. She gets to work super early. The only problem is we typically get distracted talking about the Patriots and get very little accomplished. It's okay because everyone agrees that Lori is just easy to talk to. Best of luck from everyone at CB in your retirement, Lori, and we'll put you on the sub list when you're ready. I think Mark says jazz hands. Should I go? I don't know what you want for an order, Dr. G. Do you want me to just go
Let's
in
do a
order that you sent?
Support personnel, please. Whoop. Support personnel, please.
Okay, I got to get it back up on my screen. Okay, Mrs. Becky Wallace has made an outstanding contribution to the quality of education and plays a key role in the smooth operation at Charles Barnum. Becky is the face of our school, and her perpetual positivity and caring nature makes Charles Barnum a warm, inviting place for all who enter. She has a special way with students too, chatting with them about their schoolwork, their day, or cheering up an upset student. Oftentimes, if you stop in the office, you will notice that it's full. Teachers, administrators, volunteers, and students. The phone is ringing, the door is buzzing, the walkie-talkies are calling, and there she is calmly handling it all with a smile. Becky is also the co-chair for CB Cares committee that provides help to families of students in need. She works tirelessly juggling the many jobs that are required and will never turn a teacher or family member away that's waiting. What can I do for you is how she goes out of her way to help us make our job easier, even if it makes her job more difficult. Mrs. Wallace is a selfless person that Charles Barnum is proud to call the nucleus of our CB community. Friends of Education is next. I think she's here. Diane George. Diane has been such a special support for the students at Charles Barnum. Students benefit from their ability to share in Diane's groups about the unique experience of family deployment. They're able to do this during her regularly scheduled deployment club meetings that she hosts at lunch. A deployment of a loved one can be You can hear this through the laughing and see it in the smiling, and it's attributed to the connection Diane creates with the children. It is incredibly valuable for everyone who participates. One final aspect of Diane's impact on our children is that it is very apparent that she truly cares about the children. She remembers individual details and stories that students share with her. One staff member noted, "I've never seen a student leave at the end of her lunch group without a smile." We at CB appreciate everything Diane does for her students and are pleased to have her represented with our Friends of Education Award. Diane. Following Mark's directions. And Mrs. Braybeck, I believe I saw her here as well tonight. Charles Barnum Elementary School is proud to announce Sue Braybeck as our Outstanding Educator for 2020. Mrs. Braybeck has been at Barnum for the past 5 years as a 5th grade teacher. She relocated to our area after spending time teaching in New Hampshire. I should have said relocated because that's what she did. The last time she was at Barnum, she was the PTO president and parent extraordinaire to her girls. Groton is a special place for Mrs. Braybeck, and it is not the first time she has worked here, but her husband is retired Navy. Barnum is very familiar with the military population, and Sue has a fantastic understanding of what her students endure on a daily basis. I asked for some staff members to tell me how they see Sue as a role model for teachers.
No, it's a bandwidth was low. My bandwidth?
Okay, I'm just going to ask it. Everyone mutes, please. I asked for some staff members to tell me how they see Sue as a role model for teachers. One teacher said, "I nominated Sue because she is simply a rock star. She embodies all of the characteristics of an amazing teacher as she listens to her students carefully and adjusts her instruction so that everyone gets exactly what they need. Her small group individualized instruction looks easy, flowing from one group to the next, listening, noticing, and then leaving them with just the right questions." That's an impressive statement. It makes me want to be in the class as her student or have her as my grade level partner as a colleague. Both would be fantastic. Another staff member commented on her ability to connect with children. Sue cares. She cares on multiple levels about all of her students, both academically and socially. As a life is good playmaker, she invests each child's social and emotional growth and is willing to give her time and talents to support anyone. Sue's ability to care knows no bounds. I have witnessed this on many occasions, but most recently, she went completely out of her way to bring her dinosaur-sized dog, Daisy, to meet a student who was struggling with virtual learning due to the lack of social interaction. It was a completely selfless act to give a few moments to a student in need. Daisy showed up in many of the videos Sue created for distance learning and is famous with her class. As is the case with many people in this room or this virtual room, Sue is a huge motivator, cheerleader, confidant, and role model. If you know her, she does all of those things for students and for colleagues, never once thinking of herself. Sue, congratulations on being selected by your peers as Teacher of the Year, and thank you for your dedication to the students and Charles Barton.
Okay, Seth, excellent job. Thanks so much. And then we'll go to Chris, please. Catherine Kolnowski.
Okay, Catherine Kolnowski's first retiree is Paula Bromley. Paula Bromley has been an invaluable member of our Catherine Kolnowski family for the past 4 years. We were so lucky to have such a talented master teacher join our staff. In her short time with us, Paula made an impact on both our students and our staff. She always thinks about the whole child and what each student's need is at that moment, and then meets that need. Paula is the model of a lifelong learner. She understands that to do the best for our students, you need to read the research, refine your skills, always be willing to adjust your teaching, and share your knowledge with your colleagues. It's Paula's desire to share her craft and her knowledge that made us all better educators. It was an honor for Paula Bromley to be part of our CK family, and we will miss her greatly, and we wish Paula well in her retirement. I had the pleasure of working with Eileen Burton twice in my career in Groton, first at Fitch Middle School and then at Catherine Kolnowski. And this allowed me to see the full range of Eileen's teaching ability, and it is impressive. CK is so lucky to have had Eileen join us for the last 3 years of her career in Groton. She made our school a much more beautiful place to be, as she filled every hallway and even the stairwell with student art. And this not only made our school beautiful, but it developed pride within our students for the work they created, and they knew that their work was valued. Eileen not only taught our students about the art they were creating, but she helped them find their individuality and helped them share that through their artwork. Eileen leaves very big shoes to fill at CK. We will miss her and the beauty that she brought to our school. Happy retirement, Eileen. And we have another retiree who is Rita Howell. So CK was fortunate to have Rita Howell as a paraprofessional for several years before her retirement. Rita has a quiet and steady approach, which is a perfect approach with our students. Her calm and consistent style provided the consistency that allowed our students to be available for learning and to produce their best work. Rita is detail-oriented and organized, which helped our teachers collect the work samples and the data that was needed. Her unassuming presence has been missed at CK as Rita retired earlier this year. And Rita, we wish you the best as you continue your retirement. Let's see, CK's non-certified personnel award goes to Colleen Peterson. Colleen Peterson does so much for our students and our school every day. Her job title is tutor for English language learners, but she is so much more at CK. Often unseen and sometimes very visible, Colleen is a force in helping our school run smoothly every day. She develops relationships with all of the students at CK, and she knows most of them by name. She provides our ELL students with the consistent and meaningful support that they need to be successful in the classroom. But she doesn't stop there. She also helps to make sure our breakfast runs smoothly every morning and that our dismissal is safe every afternoon. And she has a wonderful relationship with our families. She quickly jumps in to help in the office when it's needed and often supports our after-school events. Colleen is also a key member of CK's Party Central. She has a knack of knowing when we need a little relaxation as a CK family. And she always picks the right location and party to help us keep a little balance in our lives. And it's that balance that helps us all be better at our jobs. Colleen is a valued member of our CK school family, and we are very fortunate to have her. And it's an honor to award her with CK's Non-Certified Personnel Award. The Friends of Groton Education Award for CK goes to Heidi Beauchamp. Catherine Kolnaski is honored to select Heidi Beauchamp for the Friends of Groton Award this year. For the past 6 years, Heidi has volunteered to work in the art classroom for Eileen Burton, 3 years at CK and 3 years at PV prior to its closing. Heidi comes into the art classroom 2 to 3 times a week to assist with classes and assist with special projects like weaving and clay projects when an extra set of adult hands is most needed. She is caring and gentle with all of the students, and she has a special way of knowing which students need a little more help or attention and provides that support without prompting. In addition to her classroom assistance, Heidi helps hang and take down hundreds of art projects and displays throughout the building. She never turns down a request for help with this very time-consuming job. These displays have adorned our hallways with beautiful artwork and given the children a sense of pride when they see their work displayed. It also helps parents and other school personnel see the work that's happening in the art room. Heidi is organized and methodical with every project. She also volunteers with Arts Night and STEAM Night, assisting with workshops and art displays. Heidi and her husband have been instrumental in preparing over 100 gingerbread houses each year for our annual gingerbread workshop in December, and that is no small task. She has taken time to help organize the art room and materials. She even takes home time-consuming work like mounting student artwork, cleaning watercolor trays, and sorting through old markers. Our school would not be as beautiful without Heidi's dedication. Thank you, Heidi Beauchamp. And next is Catherine Kolnaski's Teacher of the Year, which is Kristen Phelps. Kristen Phelps joined the Catherine Kolnaski family 5 years ago, and what a blessing that was for our school. Kristen is a tenacious advocate for her students. It is simply remarkable what Kristen can accomplish for and with her students and for and with her team as well. She always seems to be one step ahead. A colleague often refers to Kristen as a superwoman, and she is right. Kristen has extraordinary talents, strengths, and abilities. Catherine Kolnaski STEAM Magnet School is honored to have Kristen Phelps represent our school as CK's Teacher of the Year. When you meet Kristen Phelps, the first thing you notice is her positive personality and that she's always smiling. But it doesn't take long to realize that Kristen is also 100% invested in her students. She is driven to meet their needs and has a special place in her heart for them. Passionate and patient, she advocates for their social and emotional needs as well as their academic needs. She puts her empathy into action, supporting students and guiding their parents as well. She builds and nurtures caring relationships with everyone she's in contact with, and it's these strong relationships that help her students succeed. Kristen is supportive and sensitive to student and family needs and goes above and beyond to maintain effective communication with students, parents, and staff. She meets with teachers throughout the day, both formally and on the fly, to offer insight, ask questions, and provide support. Kristen knows that the best teaching comes from collaboration between educators rather than working as separate entities. She makes it a point to include herself in all realms that might have an impact on her student. And it's this collaboration that helps ensure that every adult involved with her students understands that student's needs in that moment, which results in the greatest growth for the student. She has a vast knowledge of curriculum, her students, and organizational skills that allow her to adapt to any situation on a moment's notice. She's conscientious of each child's learning styles and is dedicated to making lessons creative and innovative in order to motivate all students, even the most reluctant learners. Kristen and her husband, Scott, are the parents of one very energetic and beautiful little girl, Madison. It's amazing what Kristen accomplishes each day, especially as we've been doing Zoom meetings and I watch the energy that Madison has. She is a superwoman, and we are proud to have Kristen Phelps as our Teacher of the Year.
Thanks, Chris. Jamie, if you would introduce us to a few folks, we'd appreciate it.
Hi, good evening. I do not have any retirees, so I can get right started into our non-certified personnel award. So Clochester School is excited and honored to have Mary Ellen Siebert as their non-certified personnel award recipient. Mary Ellen is an enthusiastic, well-prepared professional who makes an enormous difference in supporting a kindergarten classroom. She's committed to helping students and staff in any capacity she can, all in order to help with the success of our youngest learners. She initiates ideas and actions, jumping in to help students in the classroom, on the playground, in the cafeteria, and in the hallway. From holding a hand to making a math assignment fun, Mary Ellen builds confidence in students in a loving, supportive way. She is described as a go-getter, jumping in to ask any inquisitive student questions, provide help and support learning goals. She is self-motivated and naturally understands the needs of the classroom and her students. Colleagues describe her as a devoted friend and coworker, influencing the self-esteem and motivational drive of all those she meets. Mary Ellen is dedicated, professional, and a true asset to the CC community. Congratulations, Mary Ellen. Thank you for all that you do to make CC a great place to be. Okay, I will move into our Friends of Groton Award. So we are honored that Sue Malero is our Friends of Groton Award recipient this year. Sue has been an incredibly dedicated volunteer and role model to Clochester students for the past 2 years. She has come to CC every day and stays the whole morning helping our students. She arrives with a smile and even leaves with a smile. Sue devotes her morning to reading with students one-on-one or in a small group, doing various games, supporting sight words, comprehension, phonics. She really does everything. In addition to reading, Sue helps students practice math facts. She can make a drill type activity really engaging. Students are definitely drawn to her gentle, genuine, soft-spoken demeanor. Teachers appreciate having her help with their students. Sue also helps teachers in the literacy classroom organizing materials, leveling books, and making displays. Thank you, Sue, for your dedication and your hard work and helping to make CC a great place for great kids. Congratulations. Okay, and Clodchester School is proud and honored that Jessica Legner.
All right, so you don't see anybody's pictures? Oh, shoot, I don't want to be on.
I will start again. That Jessica Legner is recognized as our school's Teacher of the Year. Jessica is an outgoing, enthusiastic teacher. She has endless amount of positive energy, and it's contagious to all who are around her. Every day, she brings joy and excitement into her kindergarten classroom, which she works tirelessly to make a warm, welcoming, safe place for everyone who joins, including the adults. Jess continued to make her classroom engaging and fun during distance learning as she held weekly morning meetings through Zoom. She would implement literacy and math skills into meetings through games or share outs with which students just loved to participate. It was very fun. She also used many different platforms from Seesaw to Remind to Zoom to make sure her students' families felt connected and up to date. She even held a Zoom meeting with parents to give tips on how to work with their child at home. Jessica is a champion and advocate for her students. She never stops discovering, creating, learning different ways she can have a greater impact upon them. She goes above and beyond to make her students feel successful and loved, and their families feel empowered. Despite any and many challenges she has faced to reach a student academically, behaviorally, and or emotionally, Jessica has never given up or stopped trying new ideas and taking risks. She is open to implementing all offered strategies from her team and reflects upon them often. Jessica's talent goes beyond the classroom. She is part of the CC Community Outreach Committee, is part of the CC Read Across America Committee, and is the CC rep for kindergarten distance learning for the district. And she even choreographed a flash dance routine for the teachers and staff to do as a surprise for students at a whole school meeting. Thank you, Jessica, for all that you do to make Clodchester School an amazing, positive place to be. Congratulations. Yay.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you.
We'll now move on to Ryan, please, to talk about a few folks from NEA. Ryan?
All right. Good evening, everyone. I want to echo what Mr. Danner said, give a shout out to Mary Jane Yolen. Congratulations on your retirement. I know that Kathy Miner will be speaking about you shortly. Our first person from Northeast Academy, our support personnel, the award this year goes to Michelle Gustafson. NEA is honored to present Michelle with our non-certified personnel award this year. When we think of an unsung hero within our school, Michelle is most certainly that. As a building sub, she not only works in every classroom with every student and every staff member, but she also knows and understands all the needs and necessities of the building throughout the day. Over the last few years, she has filled in wherever and whenever has been needed, even taking over running the school as our secretary when needed without missing a beat. Not to mention, she just stepped down as the president of our amazing PTO and certainly has left enormous shoes to fill. Michelle has established loving and caring relationships with the students and faculty of NEA through consistent teamwork she demonstrates every day. Our Northeast community would not be the same without Michelle Gustafson by any means. Congratulations to Michelle. All right, next up, our friend of education. This year's recipient for Northeast Academy is Jill Lebrano. And I believe I saw Michelle and Jill here. Jill has been a longtime friend of Northeast. Between her two sons, Jill has been a member of the Northeast community for over 10 years, and we are so lucky for that. Besides being an active member of the PTO and running the book fair, and taking care of everything that comes with that, from setup to breakdown and scheduling volunteers, Jill is also a familiar face on a regular basis within the school. Jill can often be found at the copier or laminating machine. She is constantly organizing materials for math games and activities across all the grade levels and taking things home to cut up and organize into bags. Jill often volunteers much more than her scheduled hours, staying all day or coming in more days if needed to help finish up a project. Her behind-the-scenes work is appreciated greatly by our staff, and why she is our Friend of Education Award recipient this year. Congratulations to Jill. Just speaking personally, completing my first year at Northeast as the principal, I can say that Michelle and Jill were a huge help to me and someone that I could not only bounce ideas off of, but get some valuable feedback from. So Michelle and Jill, thank you so much for being such a strong part of our team. And last but certainly not least, this year's recipient of the Teacher of the Year Award at Northeast Academy is Lauren Hunter. I'm not sure if Lauren is with us, but I certainly hope that she is. This year's Teacher of the Year at Northeast, as I said, is Lauren Hunter. Lauren is a first grade teacher and has been at Northeast for only a few years since the closing of Pleasant Valley. Lauren's classroom environment is dynamic. She creatively utilizes flexible seating for all students and does wonders empowering her kids to self-regulate and self-assess. Lauren has exceptionally strong relationships with her students and families. Her special education background certainly enables her to meet the needs of difficult learners with individuality and passion. Lauren's contributions to the NEA community go well beyond her classroom. She is a huge part of our Journey to Success character education program. Lauren films and produces videos each month highlighting students demonstrating important skills. She also plans and hosts our monthly parent assemblies, masterfully commanding an audience of nearly 500 people using strong classroom management techniques. During distance learning, Lauren has shined. She jumped into Google Classroom and set up online rooms for our kindergarten and first grade teams. She has helped many colleagues troubleshoot and navigate the world of virtual learning with ease. Lauren also produced multiple videos from home during distance learning, highlighting the hard work of our students and the need to maintain community and school culture in the world of quarantine. These videos have gone a long way in maintaining our school's sense of connectedness during this entire coronavirus experience. We are so proud of Lauren's accomplishments both this year and beyond. She does a wonderful job demonstrating her personal best, a mantra we use daily at Northeast Academy. Huge congratulations, Lauren, well deserved. And Dr. Grenier, that's all I have.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Steve, we'll turn it over to you.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to get started. We have one retiree. Let's see. Here we go. So as we leave the 2020-2021 school year at SB Butler behind us, we will be saying farewell to Linda Salovitz. Linda has been a special education teacher at Groton Public Schools for over 18 years and has dedicated her time to ensuring that all students are successful both academically and emotionally. One of the first things that comes to mind is her compassionate approach and nurturing demeanor when it comes to the good work that she does with our students and families. She makes it her priority to ensure that communication is open, frequent, and clear. Linda is also an excellent collaborative team player. She has been an integral part of our special education team and has helped to form strong connections with our staff and many students in our school. In her tenure at Butler, she has taken over the Sunshine Club. This club helps to support our staff through the good and not so good that life often throws our way. She has helped to organize many flower deliveries, celebratory cards and gifts, and kind words that have helped to maintain a positive staff morale in our school community. Just recently, she organized a coffee cart that operated every Friday. It was a way to integrate life skills to some of our most needy students. Under close supervision, students took orders, collected money, and served coffee to our staff on Fridays. It was very successful and yet another example of how Linda continually looked for ways to include all of our students at Butler every day. We will miss Linda and her many different affectionate nicknames, some which include Mama Sal, Mom, Queen of Resource, are just to name a few. We wish you all the best, Linda, as you embark on this new adventure. Live every day to the fullest, stay in the moment, and enjoy your family. We'll certainly miss you, Linda. So moving on to our, our non-certified staff member, Gretchen Romley was nominated at our school this year. Words cannot express how kind and thoughtful Gretchen is to everyone that she meets. We are so fortunate to have Gretchen and her children at our school. Gretchen wears many hats at Butler. She's our volunteer coordinator, kindergarten aide, and the creator of the yearbook. Gretchen has two amazing children, Max and Nora. Both her children share the same kind spirit as their mom. We depend on Gretchen for many things at Butler. She never says no, but I can tell you by her smile that sometimes she's really unsure about the task, but she does it anyway with a great big okay. Gretchen is the first person to volunteer her time to any project at school, from cleaning the courtyard, celebrating the kitchen staff, helping plan staff celebrations, or going on field trips. You name it, she will volunteer. I've recently learned that she loves the outdoors. That explains why she is the most conscientious person that I know when it comes to protecting our environment. Her love for nature is something that she shares with her children. If I had to describe Gretchen using the letters of her name, a project that we ask students to complete often, it would go something like this: generous, resourceful, easygoing, tenderhearted, caring, hardworking, energetic, and nurturing. Our school is a better place because of you, Gretchen. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. And moving on to our Friends of Education. It's our honor to nominate Kate Shannon for the Friends of Education at SB Butler for the 2019-2020 school year. Kate's kind demeanor and willingness to lend a hand at Butler is what comes to mind first when reflecting upon the support that she offers our school community. Kate is one of our literacy volunteers. She consistently and promptly arrives every week to help support students in many ways. You can often see her reading with students in the hallway, helping with their writing skills, and sometimes playing educational games that support learning. She is always smiling, positive, and eager to help our students. The students look forward to her coming and are easily connected to her approach and warm personality. Kate is also an active member of our PTO. She has helped to bring many assemblies, authors, illustrators, and presentations to our students. She is very supportive of our teachers and the work that they do. For the last 2 years, she has helped to facilitate our Crazy Eights after-school math enrichment program at Butler. Just recently, she was asked to serve on the committee that will help to name the 2 new elementary schools in Groton. Kate's hard work and fierce dedication to SB Butler and our school community is greatly appreciated by everyone. On behalf of our staff, we thank you for all that you do, Kate. All right, and moving on to our last, Mrs. Robin Martell is our distinguished educator for the 2020 and 2021 school year. I should say she is again. Robin was chosen to represent SB Butler last year as well. However, a hurdle in the form of cancer was thrown in front of her path. Robin took a leave of absence last year to fight and conquer with the loving support of her family and school community. All throughout her leave, she kept in contact and sought out ways to stay connected to our staff, students, and families. It became abundantly clear to me that in addition to her many teaching talents, Robin possessed an inner courage and genuine positivity that was the driving force to her recovery and healing. These traits are truly commendable, and I can't tell you how many times I spoke with Robin over the phone last year and was amazed at how she approached this challenge and wanted the world to know that life is good. Whoops. Oh, I'm sorry. My computer just glitched there. Let me go back to where I left off. I'm just gonna go back a couple of sentences. These traits are truly commendable, and I can't tell you how many times I spoke with Robin over the phone last year and was amazed at how she approached this challenge and wanted the world to know that life is good. She is a fiercely dedicated and committed music teacher that truly shares her passion for music with all students every day. Her impact at Butler includes everything from after-school enrichment clubs to teaching the alphabet through literature. Her hard work and dedication to detail are a testament to her teaching style and personal integrity. Robin is such a versatile educator, demonstrating her ability to instruct a wide variety of students, including those with severe autism. She takes the opportunity to plan with our special education teachers in the ABA program prior to teaching the students through an adaptive music class. As a result, students are prepared for the lesson and are able to access the curriculum in a smaller environment, allowing them to shine. Robin also takes the time to build relationships with students that ultimately make their overall school experience a successful one. Her kind and attentive manner makes students feel welcome and willing to take risks. Her music classrooms are always welcoming and allow for students to shine. She has provided several after-school enrichment opportunities for our students at Butler as well. In the past 3 years, Robin has put on a musical production for
I've got that grill on.
third, fourth, and fifth grade.
They've got me on mute.
All of this work takes place with school and requires a lot of time and energy in auditioning students, creating props and sets, ordering costumes, running students through their lines, teaching the music for the play, and of course, crowd control. She works with over 50 students at the gym alone. All of this preparation leads to a fabulous production that truly showcases many of our students' theatrical abilities. One of the first things that she worried about this year was that the production wouldn't happen due to her leave. Can't tell you how many times we argued about that. She was adamant about getting back this spring to continue with a 2020 production. In the end, her health and well-being became the priority. As the school district transitioned to distance learning for students, Robin saw the opportunity to get back into the game for the remainder of the year. She jumped in feet first and hit the ground running. Students were thrilled to have her back, and she quickly transitioned to setting up a Google Classroom and making connections with her students. Robin's tremendous work ethic, commitment to her craft, and genuine positive energy is contagious. She continues to be a great member of our staff and respected member of our school community. Congratulations to you, Robin. And that's all I have for tonight.
Great. Thanks so much, Steve. Well, now we're going to go to Peter Bass, who used to be principal of a school called Cutler Middle School, and will soon become the principal of a school that's going to open in a couple of months, Groton Middle School. So Peter, if you'd introduce us to some folks, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my fantastic honor to introduce a number of outstanding individuals this evening. And as you said, Dr. Grenier, this may be one of my very last acts as principal of Cutler Middle School. I'll start off with retirees. It's a tale of two Debs for me. First one is Deb Lau. Deb Lau was secretary in Groton Public Schools for 20 years. 20 years. The majority of those were at Fitch Middle. Her final 7 years were at Cutler, of which the last 5 I was lucky enough to work with her. I tell you, I have never worked with a secretary as hardworking or efficient as Deb. She's passionate about her work, almost as passionate as she is about the Patriots. Deb, life will go on without TB12. We're going to be okay. But she was a pleasure to work with. Whenever I needed anything, she was at the ready. She often was 2 or 3 steps ahead of me. While she's been retired now for a number of months, we continue to miss her, and we wish her continued health and happiness in her retirement years. Best of luck to you, Deb. Next, Deb Wadaker. Let's see. Deb started teaching in Groton January 2nd, 1979. Do the math. 41 and a half years. God love you, Deb. I know I do. Let me tell you. Deb Wadaker, she's taught at 3 schools. She taught at Westside. She taught at Fitch Middle. She taught not once, but twice at Cutler. She started teaching language arts, went to social studies, went back to language arts and social studies, finally finished out teaching social studies her final 8 years at Cutler. When Fitch Middle closed in 2012, she came over to Cutler, taught 7th grade. And let me tell you, you will not meet a more collaborative, outgoing, positive person than Deb Wadaker. She is well remembered by parents and students for being the teacher who always said, "Thanks for coming," as her students left class every day. Their choral response was always, "Thanks for having us." She made that personal connection with kids and gave them something to remember her by. So Deb, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to Groton Public Schools. Let me tell you, for an experienced teacher to do everything she did, when we became an Arts and Humanities MYP magnet school a few years back, she jumped in both feet. She brought her son in, who is an experienced filmmaker, and did a piece with her students on the Berlin Wall. It was unbelievable. When we were hit with distance learning unexpectedly this year, Deb knew she was going to retire. She said, "I can't believe this. I thought I was going to escape technology." But you know what? It did not surprise me one bit that Deb did not shy away. She jumped in again, both feet. Because you know why? That's who Deb is. Anyone else, maybe not anyone else, but a lot of other people would have just phoned it in those last 2.5 months. That's not Deb. Deb, I'm going to miss you tremendously. Please don't be a stranger. Take care. Wish you the very best. God bless, Deb. All right, next takes us to Marge Finley, our support personnel awardee of the year, non-certified support. Marge Finley, head cook at Cutler for a number of years. Let me tell you, Marge, she is cool under pressure, always a smile on her face. I can't tell you the number of times that stinking computer system would go down right in the middle of the lunch wave. First week of school, 6th grade. 6th graders don't know how to come through the lunch line and punch their numbers in. Marge never missed a beat. She wouldn't receive an order. You know, pizza Friday. Where's pizza on Friday? Well, you know, there was a change, but she made it okay. She always knew a way, always with a smile on her face, and just an extremely hard worker. And we've been very fortunate to have you all these years at Cutler. So thank you so much. And we look forward to working with you more in the future, but you are well deserving of this award. Thanks, Marge. Next up, we have our friend of education, Mary Addison. Mary hails from Mystic Museum of Art, and Leslie Forbes, our Arts and Humanities coordinator, penned a lovely 2-page single-lined piece, which I think that if Mary hasn't received it, she should. But for time's sake, I'm going to read a few of the highlights. You know, Mary is the educational outreach director at Mystic Museum of Art, and Mystic Museum of Art became one of our community partners when we became an Arts and Humanities magnet school. And Mary went above and beyond from day one. Mary's creative hands-on lessons and warm, caring spirit contributed much to the success of Cutler becoming an Arts and Humanities IB MYP school. Mary is not only an outstanding artist and educator, but also a warm, caring, and compassionate instructor and mentor with the ability to encourage others to think outside the box and feel proud of what they accomplish. A few projects that stand out that Mary has facilitated include students creating a variety of different bones from the human body out of paper mache while studying the skeletal system, constructing an analytic, means human, a human sundial, while studying the solar system, tiling 2 picnic tables and benches using chemical DNA structures during a chemistry unit, making 3D sculptures of various European landforms in social studies classes, and designing and writing storybooks in French class to share with elementary students. These fabulous projects could not happen without Mary. When the wood purchased for the sundial could not be delivered in time, time frame most convenient for the teachers. Mary borrowed a truck, picked up the pieces of wood, delivered the cutler on her own, and then she made sure that each piece made it safely into the classroom through the window. She came in on the weekends to prepare the wood to be able to use outside, worked in the classroom with students, helping them design and paint the wood, and worked with the teachers to cement each piece in a bucket to then be planted and secured in the ground outside. Mary will help complete this sundial with students when it's finally at Groton Middle School to add the cement step bases to use the sundial correctly. In addition to this, Mary often worked after school hours and on weekends for these projects. It was Mary and her partner, Andy, that picked up needed supplies for the tiling of the picnic tables and made sure teachers had them ready to go on a Monday morning.
All right, you want to venture?
She really went above and beyond. These picnic tables are absolutely gorgeous. They're extremely heavy. She took them home, back to the museum to put finishing touches on them, brought them back to school. They're heavy. You have to treat them delicately. What she did was just amazing. And what she brought to our school, really the hard work, the support, and her truthful demeanor all contributed to our school community. So Mary, you truly are Cutler's friend of education. We appreciate all that you've done, and we look forward to continue to work with you in the coming years. Yay, Mary.
Thank you,
All right,
Peter.
that takes me to.
All right.
Okay, are we okay to go to the cable awards, Dr. G?
Yeah, please, if you would.
All right. So we have the Connecticut Association of Boards of Education award to 2 8th grade students at each middle school in Connecticut, an award. And let me tell you, this is one of the very top awards that you can receive as an 8th grader. And we have 2 extremely well-deserving and outstanding individuals to whom this award was presented this year. The first one I'd like to speak about is Catherine Regan. Catherine, wow, what a kid. She was with us at Cutler for 2 years. Her teachers wrote high praise of her, and I am in full agreement. She willingly assisted her teachers and classmates by helping her peers. She clearly demonstrated great character and was involved in so many extracurricular activities. She was our student council treasurer this year. She gave an outstanding speech when she ran for office in front of the entire student body and just did a fantastic job with that. She was part of our drama club and was involved in other clubs and activities as well. She really set an example in the school building. She has maturity beyond her years. Over the course of her middle school years, Catherine kept an A average, and that is not something that's easy to do. So she is a fantastic student. It's been my great pleasure to have gotten to know her over the last couple of years, and I really cannot wait to see what your future holds. Sky's the limit for you, Catherine. Congratulations. Well done. Our second award winner for CAVE, his name is Gianni Drab. Gianni, his teacher's right, is a quiet leader and a truly independent worker on all levels who's able to focus when others can't. He's able to balance work and socializing, and he influences others to do the same. It is rare to see Gianni off task as he takes his education very seriously. He's determined to do his best at all times, whether it's in the classroom or on the basketball court. You should see Gianni rebound and jump. He is unbelievable, and he's deadly within 4 feet of the basket. Can't wait to see him in high school. He's relentless in his efforts. He often participates in class, and his observations and questions are always thoughtful and appropriate. Here's what I can tell you about Gianni. He's a truly amazing young man with educational drive. His pursuit of academic excellence, I don't believe I've ever seen an 8th grade young man before. He is so focused on doing his very best at everything he does. And the case in point, he got involved with the regional history day this year, and he and his partner put a ton of time into it, and were successful in moving on to the beyond the regions to the state level, the competition. And his drive and passion is unbelievable. And again, he's another individual who is mature beyond his years. And again, I cannot wait, Gianni, to see what you do in high school and beyond. So congratulations, very well deserving. Well done, Gianni. Way to go, G. Finally, Cutler's Outstanding Teacher of the Year, Mr. Jake Brown. Jake was nominated by one of his peers, and he says that Jake is always willing to go the extra mile for students by giving his time, participating in a number of clubs, and I will say leading a number of clubs. Jake actually got involved with another teacher in starting a student fantasy baseball league. And this was phenomenal to watch. He drew in boys and girls from the middle school. And, you know, I think there was a lot of bravado and pride that Mr. Brown has with regard to his sports expertise. He really is an expert when it comes to baseball. But it just goes to show how involved Jake has become. Jake hasn't been around Cutler a very long time, but it seems like he's been there for quite some time because he's really made his mark at Cutler. He's a head soccer coach for the boys. Not only does Jake provide support for students, but he also provides support and assistance to his peers and coworkers. He is open and willing to assist teachers whenever they have question, problem, or concern. Jake's tremendous efforts go a long way in creating a positive educational environment at Cutler Arts and Humanities Magnet Middle School. Here's what else I'll say about Jake. Jake is organized, he's collaborative, he's positive. Whenever I see him, he's got a smile on his face, and that smile is infectious to his students. So we are very lucky to be able to honor Jake tonight as Cutler's Outstanding Teacher of the Year. Well done, Jake. Lots more great things to come.
Thanks so much, Peter. So now we'll move on to that next middle school that will be closing shortly, and Jeff Kutecki will be moving over not only as one of the administrators but the athletic director at our new middle school. So Jeff, if you'd introduce us to a few folks, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. Well, good evening, everyone. I know it's a long night. I'll try to do my best to keep everyone engaged. Westside has 3 retirees this year. I'm going to start with our beloved art teacher, Jan Abrahamson. Jan Abrahamson, Miss A to most of her students and colleagues, graduated from Philadelphia College of Art in 1983 and has been teaching ever since. She started teaching in Groton in 1985 at Cutler Junior High. In 1992, her position changed and she taught at both Westside Middle School and William Seeley Elementary School, teaching art from preschool to grade 8. She said she cried a little bit that year. After several years, her position at Westside became full-time, and she has been there for the past 28 years. Over the past 28 years, she has loved serving the Westside community of students, parents, and colleagues, and considered her second home the art room. Over the years, Miss A contributed beyond the classroom. She served as a Amistad Friendship Society advisor for 18 years. Program ran for the purpose of creating cross-district friendship, building bridges in diversity, and learning about Connecticut history. She was also honored to have her selected as the Westside and Groton District Teacher of the Year in 2011, and has since served on the Teacher of the Year Selection Committee. As an advocate for a strong art education, she has been collaborating with her art colleagues on the design and creation of the Groton Public School Art Gallery in room 11 at Central Office. She feels such joy and excitement to see young Groton artists recognized for their talents. Over the years, Jan has felt honored to serve her colleagues across Southeastern Connecticut by planning and organizing relevant programs for visual arts professional development. I have had the privilege to work with Ms. A for the past 14 years. Her dedication and commitment to her students, art education, and the Westside community has always been impressive. Anytime there was an after-school event, Ms. A was there. I think we all know that Ms. A is an outstanding educator, but what I observed over the last 14 years working with her is that she's an even better person. In her retirement, Miss A says she will miss her students, her colleagues, and friends in the Groton community, and says that Westside will always be in her heart. I think it's fair to say that we will miss her even more. Enjoy your retirement, Miss A. You earned it. We also have two paraprofessionals that are retiring this year. Gail Kelly. Gail Kelly has been a stable fixture in the Groton Public Schools since 1999, starting out first out of district at Colonel Ledyard Elementary School and then moving to Charles Barnum. She has worked with elementary students of all ages. In 2004, she started working at Colchester Elementary School as one of the building paraprofessionals. Miss Gail, as she is known, was always the person that teachers can turn to when they were in a bind. If materials needed to be organized for a class project, or if class sets of papers needed to be copied and to be done as soon as possible, she was your go-to person. The teacher's workroom was always busy, and if you walked in and the copy machine was busy, you would just hear her say, "Leave it in the basket with a sticky note, and I'll get it done for you." She truly could be a lifesaver to a teacher when they only had that short planning period to accomplish so much before the students returned. As time passed, Gail's role at Colchester began to change. The education world was changing. Paraprofessionals that could establish a trusted relationship with special education students were needed. They also needed to be able to work in the inclusion setting to assist other students at the same time. Gail fit this description. Her caring nature but strong behavior management skills allowed her to build relationships with some of the most impacted students. She was able to provide key insights to staff on her students and how they were progressing on each assignment that helped shape future instruction. Gail was a consistent advocate for the special education students she worked with. She did a great job working collaboratively and cooperatively with special education teachers, counselors, regular education teachers, and administration to provide the best education possible for each student. In 2018, Gail's desire to work with students made the scary leap from elementary school to middle school. In September of that year, she followed the student who she was with as a one-on-one paraprofessional to Westside Middle School. She wanted to provide the consistency that this student required as he moved into the middle school. Her hard work had paid off as this student has shown growth both academically and personally. This young man is just one of many lives that Gail has helped shape into a better student. Thousands and thousands of Groton children have passed through the buildings of Groton Public Schools. Many of them have been lucky enough to have Gail in their building. Gail has not only been a colleague to many of us, but more importantly, she has been a friend to us here in Groton Public Schools. We wish her the best in her retirement. She will be greatly missed. And then we have one more retiree. Actually, Christina McLaughlin retired last July. She goes as Tina. It is my pleasure to write these words about one of our most beloved paraprofessionals. Tina worked at Westside for 8 years. During her time at Westside, she worked with some of the most challenging students. Tina is one of those special people that quickly bonded with our kids. Students and staff often mention to me how committed she was to kids, not just their education, but committed to their well-being outside of school. If students needed food, clothing, school materials, Tina would be the first to spend her own money to ensure that kids had what they needed for their school day. I don't know how many years Tina served in the district, but I know many of those years were spent at the elementary level. I did a little research and I found out that Tina was also a beloved paraprofessional to staff and students at SB Butler Elementary School. In fact, I hear that children often went to her for friendship and support. She would listen to their concerns and go out of her way to make sure they felt safe and loved. You have always been that cheerleader advocate for students. Our kids at Westside miss you. The adults miss you. We wish you all the best in your retirement. Your caring support and genuine love for kids will be missed. Good luck, but more importantly, good health in your retirement years. To go now to the Friends of Education, actually the Support Personnel Award. I'm happy to present this award to Doreen McHugh. Whoever coined the phrase, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, was talking about Doreen McHugh. She has worked as a cafeteria assistant at Westside since 2007. Doreen is a dedicated food service provider who has earned the nickname the Snack Lady. Hungry students at Westside wait in anticipation for her to roll out the snack cart for food selections. They might not always be the healthiest of food, but they satisfy many and bring smiles to the students' faces. Doreen knows our students' likes and dislikes and always interacts with our students about how their day or weekend is going. Doreen is often observed doing her check-ins with kids, not just for food distribution, but she generally is interested in their overall well-being. I reached out to Ernie Koschmeider, Doreen's supervisor. He stated the following about Doreen. Doreen is a dedicated food service provider who takes the extra time and effort to get to know the kids she feeds. She is generally concerned about the physical well-being of every student she serves. In her spare time, Doreen loves to cook, obviously, knit and crochet. It takes people with these skills to understand the importance of basic human needs, to be fed and to be warm. Over the last 11 weeks of our school closure, Doreen has worked Monday through Friday to feed Groton Public School families. In fact, if families could not come to Westside to pick up food, Doreen personally would deliver the meals to their house. Her dedication and compassion for Westside families is why we are honoring her tonight with the Non-Certified Staff Award. We appreciate all you do for our families. Friends of Education. It's my honor to present this award to Lisa Jenkins. It's an honor to introduce you to the Westside Middle School Friends of Education winner, Lisa Jenkins. Lisa has been an active member of the Westside PTO for 3 years and currently serves as the vice president. Lisa always follows through on her commitments and goes above and beyond. Lisa recognizes what needs to be done and does it. She cares about the school community as if every child were her child. Allow me to share some quotes from teachers that demonstrate this. Our 7th grade special ed teacher, Allison Lubes, had this to say. Lisa is always dedicated to each and every child, as well as adults, at any school that she has either worked at or volunteered within. She is always positive, friendly, and supportive. As a teacher, I have been very thankful for all the support she has provided me over the years. From the 8th grade math teacher, Anna Stout. Lisa was the first parent to Zoom bomb. As an Algebra 1 honors help session, Lisa popped up behind Kylie to say hello and how much they missed us. Kylie was super embarrassed, but all of the other kids were extremely nervous to attend their first Zoom, got a good laugh, and it was a total icebreaker. Lisa always had a good sense of humor. When some of our 8th grade teachers harassed Kylie as a 7th grader, trying to get her to sell us Girl Scout cookies, Lisa was kind enough to email us updated cookie selling locations on the weekends to serve our needs during the stressful SBAC testing session last year. It might sound a little kooky, but it didn't matter. If you were Kylie's teacher or not, Lisa will do whatever it takes to help. From our art teacher, Jan Abrahamson, I never know when in the building or in community I will be fortunate enough to run into Miss Jenkins, but I do know it is always in the company of her smile, support, and positive attitude. I think what speaks most to Lisa's credit is that so many teachers in the building can comment on how Lisa has touched their lives over the years. Lisa has jumped at any chance to improve the days of teachers and students alike. While we wish we could keep Lisa Jenkins and her daughter Kylie forever, Fitch will be gaining a dynamic duo who are some of the best of West Side. Now I'd like to move to our 2 CABE award winners. I'd like to recognize Kylie Jenkins, who we just talked about her mom, and Nathan Virtue. Kylie is a leader in the classroom. She takes responsibility for her grades, works hard, and also works well with others. She is a high honors student. She is an Algebra 1 and Spanish 1 student and will receive high school credit for both. Kylie is also a leader beyond the classroom. She is active in the drama department. She was in the Alice in Wonderland play and was also going to be in Hairspray. Additionally, Kylie has been involved with STEPS since her 6th grade year. She embraces the lessons of the program and supports everyone in the program. Kylie is also a member of the school chorus and symphonic band. And obviously, by the way, we just talked a little bit about Kylie's mother, so that right there is a celebration for both of those people tonight. Nathan Virtue is our 2nd CABE award winner. Nathan is a leader both inside and outside the classroom. In the classroom, Nathan is focused, hard working. He's a hard focused student who consistently strives to do his best. Nathan works well with others and encourages his peers to do their best as well. Nathan is a high honors student who's challenged himself this year in Algebra 1 honors and Spanish 1 and is eligible for high school credit as a result. Nathan is also a leader beyond the classroom. Nathan exemplifies the West Side way. Nathan takes pride in himself, his school, and others. Nathan was a member of the West Side boys basketball team, was in the drama department's production of Alice in Wonderland, and has been an active member of the West Side chorus. And after any PTO-sponsored event, you're sure to find Nathan pitching in to help his mom and the PTO get everything done. Congratulations to both our CABE award winners. And last but not least, the West Side Teacher of the Year, Lawrence Burdensee. Okay? Lawrence Burdensee, better known as Mr. B to his students, has been the band director at Westside STEM Magnet Middle School for the past 8 years. He has worked in the district for 35 years, spending time as the band director at Claude Chester, Pleasant Valley, and William Seeley Elementary Schools before being appointed to Fitch Middle School in 1992. Mr. Burdensee's bands have performed for many school and town-wide events, including the annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony and the opening of the Heritage Maritime Festival. Each year, his symphonic band is invited to perform at the Navy Submarine Base in Groton for special occasions and events. Retired Captain Paul Whitescarver deemed the West Side Band as the Navy's official, unofficial band. Each year, Mr. Burdensee's band has won the highest ratings or rankings at the annual adjudication festivals. Mr. B is a dedicated, extremely devoted teacher. who has high expectations of his students and expects them to put in the work. He takes teaching music very seriously and values its place in a student's education. Mr. B has served on curriculum committees, has been a leader on the Student Teacher Assistance Resource Program, organized Unified Art Evenings, and has been a band chairman for the Eastern Regional Middle School Music Festival. 3 years ago, I finally had the privilege to be Larry's evaluator. In previous years, the past principals who evaluated Larry were either ex-music teachers or played an instrument for a hobby. So they always scheduled him as someone they wanted to evaluate. When I became principal, I placed Larry on my schedule. Over the last 8 years, I've always observed Larry's band performances and always walked away being very impressed with how prepared his students were and how well they played as a group. When I finally had the opportunity to formally observe Larry, I saw firsthand why his students are so well prepared for their concerts. I have observed hundreds of teachers over my 20 years as an administrator. Never did a lesson bring me to tears like Larry's did. And I mean, it wasn't tears because it was a bad lesson, it was tears because it was an unbelievable lesson. His passion, energy, and commitment to his craft and students was very evident. His students were 100% engaged. You could see in their faces and in their performance that they wanted to please him, which they did. Mr. B has been and continues to be a very active handbell director and is the former director of handbells at Our Ladies of Lourdes Church in Gales Ferry. In 2012, he became the director of the Hockanum Valley Ringers, a bronze-level handbell ensemble in Vernon, Connecticut. He has been a guest coordinator and conductor at the Connecticut, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine Spring Rings, as well as the Family Handbell Camp. Mr. B has 3 beautiful daughters, and I know they're with us tonight, Charlotte, Erin, and Kathleen. When he takes a break from teaching and directing, he enjoys traveling, hiking, and creating gourmet meals for his daughters. It's been an honor for me to work at Mr. B over the last 8 years at Westside. I look forward to continuing that professional relationship at Groton Middle School. Congratulations on your recognition as the Westside Teacher of the Year.
Thanks so much, Jeff. We're going to now switch over to the high school, but before I introduce Mr. Kelleher, I just wanted to say a few words, although Ted could speak about Joe Arcarice, who retired last August, because as he said at graduation, Joe was his principal when he was a young teacher at one point in his career. But I've known Joe for many years, so I asked if I could do the honors. And Joe is on the phone. There were so many people who joined this. We reached our max. You can't have more than 100. I didn't know that. Joe is number 101, so he's on the phone. But anyway, I just wanted to say, Joe has been an educator at Fitch High School over a span of 26 years. He started as a science teacher. He then served as an assistant principal. He then served as an acting principal for a year, left for a while, and then there was an opening for the principal, and he was selected for that position. And I can tell you, when you walk into that school, you know that there is a motto that is not just a sign on the wall, but really embraced by the school community. It's achieve more, believe more, and care more. And that was really Joe's signature on this school. He brought student-centered compassion and personal interest to every single student in the school. He worked with us to nourish the International Baccalaureate program, expand the AP program. He is an educator that just gave his heart and soul, literally, to the school. And when we had graduation on Friday night, some of you know, Ted Kelleher actually asked him to speak. And when he was introduced, he received a raucous welcome from the horns, actually, to be truthful. People were beeping their horns like crazy. And it was just a small indication of the great respect and affection that the students at Fitch High School have for Joe Arcariz. So I know he's at his home in Florida, and he is enjoying his retirement. But I just want to wish him and his wife Paula the best, and we thank you so much, Joe, for all your work, your dedication, and the love you brought to our schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, and it's been my pleasure to serve the high school, Groton, and it's a place that'll be in my heart forever, and I'll never forget people that I've worked with.
Thanks, Joe. God bless you.
God bless you.
Now, let me introduce Ted Kelleher, who is going to introduce us to some of his award recipients. Ted?
Thanks, Mike. So just starting out with some of our retirees, and the first one is Mark Landry, and Sandy Walton. She wrote a few words about her coworker, Mark. That Mark started working in the Groton school system as a full-time custodian in July of 2000. Most of those years he was assigned in the gym area of Fitch High School. Mark certainly got along with everyone. He was always willing to help anyone if they needed it. The students and coaches knew that if any indoor sports were being played, that Mark was ready to have it set up and ready to go. Mark grew up in Groton and graduated from Fitch High School in 1977. That is actually where he met his wife, Cindy. They raised their son, Joshua, in North Stonington, so real close by. He liked spending his time with his family and motorcycle riding, and we certainly wish him the best in his retirement. So best wishes to Mark. Matt Brown, he wrote some words about Linda Branch, and serving the district for over 42 years, Linda Branch has proved to be the ultimate Fitch Falcon. Since January of 2000, Linda has led her staff as head custodian. She is an amazing leader and has done an outstanding job. Every year, her team can be counted on to prepare the building for our students and ensure that we have the cleanest high school in the area. Linda takes great pride in our building, pride that is contagious to staff and students as well. Words that come to mind when we think of Linda includes caring, dependable, hardworking, and devoted. Even more so, we remember her as a friend, a kind person who's always ready to offer help whenever asked and is always willing to share her knowledge of all things Fitch. Linda will be greatly missed, but we are excited to see her enjoy her well-deserved retirement with her husband, Joe. Together, Linda and Joe were leaders in the Fitch community for half a century. To us, her friends and colleagues, we really feel that this is an end of a special era. Thank you, Linda, for all you have given to our staff and the students of Fitch. We extend our warm wishes to you as you begin your next chapter. Congratulations, Linda. Our next retiree is Kathy Houston, and Carmita Hodge wrote some words for Kathy. Kathy Houston is one of the most passionate social study teachers in our department. Throughout her 38 years as an educator, Kathy has been a speech pathologist, a language arts teacher, and has been assigned to the elementary school, middle school, and now high school. She moved from Arkansas and brought her to Groton, Connecticut, where she's first assigned as a full-time substitute at Cutler Middle School. Then she became a permanent 7th and 8th grade social studies teacher for 6 years before transferring to Fitch High School Social Studies Department. While she has taught many courses throughout the department, she is lovingly known as Mrs. Civics. That way in which Kathy implemented active learning strategies throughout her class afford the students the adaptability to learn the most complex of texts. For example, she used metacognitive games in which students became proficient in remembering the context of all 10 amendments of the Bill of Rights. As well, students analyzed the meanings of each phrase of the preamble before orally reciting it before their classmates. Before leaving, Kathy shared an email to all staff in which, in so many words, that she loved being a teacher and did not expect that her transfer to the high school would be the best 9 years of her teaching career, but that she loves everything about teaching and will certainly miss the students. And Kathy, we are certainly going to miss you. Best of luck in your retirement. Mr. Jason England wrote some words about Miss Mary Harris. Miss Mary Harris was born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She graduated from William Tennant High School. Miss Harris graduated from Cedarville College in Ohio with a double major in chemistry and the Bible. Most recently, she received her Master of Education from St. Joseph's University. Before going into teaching, Miss Harris worked in the pharmaceutical research and development for veterinarian medicines for companies such as GlaxoSmithKline and Pfizer. Ms. Harris began teaching in Groton in 2007 and has taught primarily chemistry. She also served as a co-advisor in the Envirothon team. Before coming to Fitch, Ms. Harris also taught at Westbrook and Old Lyme Middle Schools in the 7th grade science and at Westerly High School in chemistry and environmental science. We are certainly going to miss Ms. Harris and her expertise in chemistry and love for teaching. Good luck to Ms. Harris. Also from Mr. England, wrote some words about Ms. Charmaine Mizak, and she is originally from Plainfield, Connecticut, where she attended Plainfield High School. Charmaine attended Amherst College and Salve Regina University, completing a double major in biology and chemistry. She began her teaching career at Groton at Fitch High School in 1984 before moving to Montville in 1988. She returned to Fitch High School in 1996, and her classes included various levels of biology and chemistry, including AP, Biology 2, Animals and Behavior, and Botany. She served as department chair of the science department from 1996 to 2006. She was a teacher advisor for the Science Club, the Fitch High School chapter of SAD, the Bermuda program, and the Bermuda program. Charmaine also served 1 year as an interim vice principal at Fitch High School. She was awarded the Excellence in Secondary Science Teaching from the Connecticut Science Teachers Association in the year 2000, was a semifinalist for Connecticut Science Teacher of the Year in 2004, and was awarded Connecticut's Teacher of the Year in 1992. She's one of 8 teachers in her family, including her husband and 2 children who are Fitch alumni. We wish her the very best in her retirement. Now I'd like to talk about our Certified Staff Award winner. Colleen King has done a tremendous job this year at Fitch High School. She and Mr. Costa make an absolute wonderful team in our Library Media Center. She consistently works to set up resources and activities for teachers, helping to create a cooperative environment between the Library Media Center and our classrooms. While Mr. Costa was out for a period of time this year, Colleen took over the Library Media Center and did a terrific job. In addition, Colleen has been very active during distance learning, working with the school counseling office to contact families and supporting students, especially our seniors that were struggling. She has been an invaluable member of the Fitch High School team this entire year. Our entire administrative team is proud to nominate Colleen for this award. It's not surprising that looking at Colleen in the Zoom meeting, she's in the library right now. So thank you very much, Colleen. I'd next like to talk about our Connecticut Association of Board of Education award winners. As Mr. Bass and Mr. Kotecki had said, this is a very prestigious award. Our first award winner is known very well to the Board of Education is Addie Clark, and Mrs. Maraglino had some words to say about Addie. Addie is a well-rounded and kind leader. She is passionate about equality and always considers the best interest for all, as regardless to what club she is speaking for. She is a leader that other students feel comfortable going to while expressing concerns or wanting to contribute to a cause. Not only does Addie have a great relationship with students, but she's also enjoyed by faculty and staff as well. She's been an essential voice, both in her roles as president of More Than Words and also as vice president for the class of 2020. Addie also played an essential role in the Fitch High School band over the past 4 years at the high school and as a student representative for the Board of Education. All in all, Addie is a team player that students and adults, leaders alike can agree is always giving her best. Congratulations to Addie on this wonderful award. Secondly, Ms. Lauren DiMatteo wrote some words about Grayson Shearer, our second award winner. She is the definition of a leader. She has held the position of Class of 2020 President for all 4 years at Fitch. In addition, she is a member of the cross-country and tennis team, Renaissance crew, yearbook, and peer mediation. The passion that she has for giving back and wanting the best for her peers is evident with how committed she is to everything she does, both in school and the community. When presented with a challenge, Grayson is always willing to step up to the plate and creates a concise plan of action that empowers herself and her peers to complete the task successfully. She shows true compassion, thoughtfulness, and determination at everything she does. Congratulations, Grayson, on this well-deserved award. Next, I'd like to talk about Wendy Brennan, our Teacher of the Year for Fitch High School. And Keith Verbotnik asked that I read a few words of her about Wendy. Ann says, I first met Wendy 21 years ago when she was assigned as my mentor. Even though we were from different content areas, she has never hesitated to help me with all aspects of teaching, lesson plans, organizations, getting parents involved, and positive behavioral interventions that I could use in the classroom. Wendy's passion for nursing, teaching is actually a second career for Wendy, showed through. She has a unique ability to get this passion across to her students who want to go into the medical field. She has never hesitated to help her students with picking colleges that align with their goals and academic potential, helping with their applications. The list goes on and on. Wendy is always and still is there for her students. Whether she stayed after school to provide extra help or just listen and provide advice for whatever issues her students were dealing with, Wendy's compassion shined. She also was the first one to help new teachers on the floor. She was always helped administration in various ways that supported them in with the relationships with the students. Students wanted to go into the medical field, asked to be in her class, not only for the content that it provided, but I think more so because of her. Wendy was able to combine her nursing knowledge with her passion for teaching. This combination allowed students to become the best they could be. Wendy is also a member of the Lawrence Memorial Emergency Room Hall of Fame. She is definitely a Hall of Famer in our books as well. Wendy is not only retiring this year, but is also Fitch High School's Teacher of the Year. That speaks to her dedication to her students and her profession. She will be truly missed. Congratulations to Wendy. And lastly, I'd like to speak about Kylie Hurd. Mr. Daniel DiVinazzo wrote some words about Kylie. She is our incoming senior in Fitch High School's 2020 Poet Laureate. She is one of the few poets at Fitch who consistently writes her poetic form in other than free verse. Her submissions to Amphora's Poet Laureate competition included poems using at least 5 different types of verse, and I couldn't even pronounce the types of verse that they were. Her ability to write various poetic forms signals to a careful reader that she's disciplined and devoted to her craft. Her poems indicated that she counts syllables, perfects rhyme schemes, and invents precise images, all qualities of a skilled poet. Poetry is a hobby, and she plans to study psychology or sociology in college. In her interview with Amphora, Fitch's Literacy magazine, she explained that poetry can sort of be something that I can go back to and lean on when I feel emotional or I need to get something off my chest. Should she choose to be creative writing as a college major or enroll in an MFA program somewhere down the line, she would certainly flourish. Congratulations on this very prestigious award.
Thank you, Ted. I appreciate it. And now I'm going to ask Sam Kilpatrick, please. We have a couple of folks that are associated with the central office. So if Sam, if you would mention one of our maintenance folks who retired this past year.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I have an unstable connection here, so I hope this comes through. Secondly, while my words will be brief about these people, please don't assume that that means that they were less important to us. I just found out a few minutes ago that I was going to be speaking about Brian Tedeschi, who retired quite some time ago, and I had the honor to speak at his gathering. Brian was with us for well over 30 years at the school district, and I was in his last 5 years his immediate supervisor. So as the machinist, he not only dealt with very fine tolerances, as a machinist does, everything that he did was to very close tolerances and very neatly and efficiently done. He was a leader within our group and many times the winner of the Buildings and Grounds Person of the Year, as he was this past year. Our second person that retired this past year, which is not on the list, was our custodial supervisor, Terry Potter, who was immensely important to our district as a very knowledgeable person, a personable person, person of honor, and a mentor to me in the years that I was able to work with him. And I certainly appreciate that. The third thing that I wanted to say was that Linda Branch, while she is retiring, Linda, I still haven't decided whether I'm actually going to sign that letter for you. The words that Matt had to say about you are absolutely true. Maybe not enough nice words about you, but I've known you to be the person that I can count on, and you have given me much support over the years that I've been here, and I really appreciate that. So good luck to you in your retirement. The last thing that I wanted to mention was the Buildings and Grounds Persons of the Year. I spoke with our supervisors, Wendell Gaston and Scott Kirkpatrick, briefly the other day about that. And many of you may not know that the buildings and grounds persons, the custodians and maintenance persons, were considered essential personnel and have been in the district every day since, what was it, March 12th, when we finally decided that schools were.
Yep.
They always pause you.
You paused me or I paused myself?
Just mentioning
for a
that,
minute, Sam.
just mentioning that date upset everybody. Keep going. Sorry.
Well, it's a day that we'll certainly remember for a long time, that's for sure. And so they've been continuing to work and doing fantastic work for these many months while others were doing things remotely. They were actually here in the buildings, continuing with their work and doing a fantastic job. So that's where we're at with them. And that's what I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. And thanks to all the folks who retired. And I forgot about Terry Potter. So thank you for mentioning him. That was wonderful. And now I'd like to introduce Denise Doolittle, who's going to talk about my friend Yara Jovino. Denise?
Thank you, Dr. Grenier. Good evening, everyone. Dara Jovino joined the special education department in Groton 15 years ago. She started teaching students in a self-contained classroom at Cutler Middle School and soon decided that she wanted to follow her students to Fitch. And she worked with them there on secondary transition skills. The transition program at Fitch quickly outgrew their space. So Dara worked with the administration to design a new transition academy, which opened at central office 4 years ago. Dara has been the person who has made all of the ideas for the Transition Academy come to life. She partners with other transition programs in our region to learn more about what they do and was a founding force behind the First Fridays outings with other regional programs. Whatever Dara is planning, she always incorporates the students' preferences and strengths. from encouraging the Transition Academy's first band to play at the Holiday Spice Market, to incorporating fitness activities such as dancing and ping pong into the students' break times. Dara does everything with a smile and a soft-spoken demeanor. Her students know that she sees their talents and strengths and is teaching them to be contributing members of their community. We thank her for her vision of what this program should be and her efforts that made her vision a reality. And we wish her the best in her retirement. Thank you, Dara. We will miss you.
Thank you, Denise. And now to the last school, and we will hear from Kathy Miner, talk about Mary Morrison Award recipients.
Okay. So Mary Morrison has been graced with the presence of outstanding teachers over the year, and this year Mary Morrison will have 5 retirees that we can truly call great teachers. The first is Mary Jane Yolen, who's been mentioned earlier. She has been a health teacher for the district and most recently has rotated between elementary schools. And I have been lucky enough to have worked with her at both Mary Morrison and Pleasant Valley. Every year for 12 weeks, Mary Jane moves her materials to Mary Morrison and immediately becomes part of our staff. She jumps right in, starting with scheduling before she even arrives at our door, so she is ready to hit the ground running, planning instruction for all of our students. It takes a special person to do that, to immediately become part of a community. Mary Jane did more than just collaborate, though. She partnered with our K-5 grade level teams, and her work made a difference in the lives of our students. Along with her certification and degree in health education, she recently continued her own learning at the Albertus Magnus Program for Reading Specialists. And as Mary Jane started her rotation at Mary Morrison, she offered her expertise in literacy to fill all available time slots in her schedule, supporting our youngest students in small group instruction in grades K to 2. Mary Jane took a leadership role in the district as a member of the District Wellness Committee and has participated in Curriculum Writing Committee. She has been a contributor to our PBIS committee, and I particularly remember participating in a mindful teacher presentation to staff. Mary Jane knew that to teach mindfulness to our students, teachers must first practice it in their own lives. So Mary Jane, it is with best wishes that we send you into retirement. Enjoy traveling and spending time with your family and make the most of each day. Our next retiree is Sue Gilson. Sue has been an art teacher in Groton her whole career. In fact, I'm told she has worked in almost every elementary school except Eastern Point. Sue has been a great colleague with a great sense of humor that came out when you least expected it. As an art teacher, Sue valued her resources and found ways to come up with creative projects. She loved going to the Rhode Island Recycling Center to gather odds and ends and create sculptures and abstract art with her students. She also had a secret stash of purple glitter for her spiderweb project, as well as a great collection of children's books about art that she used frequently. Sue also enjoyed professional development classes at all of the museums and at the Norwich Free Academy, and especially when painting classes were offered at the Florence Griswold Museum. We should also mention that Sue made an amazing fairy garden sculpture displayed at the Florence Griswold. We know Sue is looking forward to retirement, as her husband has retired for quite a few years. Sue and her husband will now have more time to enjoy going up north and spending time with her son Jeffrey, who lives in Maine. Sue has been an important part of the Mary Morrison School community, and her contribution has made our school a better place, and that legacy will always be part of our Mary Morrison collective memory. We wish you the best, Sue, and a long and happy retirement. Our next retiree is also Sue. Sue Chmielewski has been an integral part of children's lives for over 35 years. She began her teaching career working for the state of Connecticut, helping disabled adults before joining Learn, and then Groton Public Schools in 1993. In Groton, Sue taught our youngest children in our integrated preschool program. She was quickly recognized as a gifted special education teacher who taught at Pleasant Valley, William Seeley, and Mary Morrison. Sue's superpower as a teacher is the ability to always remain calm, and she has a special touch with those students who needed that calm the most. Sue is well respected by her colleagues, and her door was always open when someone needed her. Sue has served as a team mentor and a cooperating teacher over the years, and colleagues at Mary Morrison recognize her contribution to the teaching community by selecting her as one of our Teachers of the Year. Sue takes tremendous pride in her relationships and rapport with students and families. She's got a bubbly personality and gives families a sense of comfort as they drop off their little ones to school for the first time. Sue also has the unique gift of welcoming young military families to their first public school experience. Sue does that with warmth, patience, trust, and laughter. In retirement, Sue, you have earned the privilege of spending more time with your husband and family. We know that your students will take all of the skills you taught them and carry them with them forever as they grow as students and well-rounded young people. Thank you, Sue, for all you've done to foster a love of learning in both your students and your colleagues. We will miss you and wish you the best of luck in retirement. We at Mary Morrison are also honored to celebrate the retirement of Sherry Hanks tonight. Sherry has been an outstanding educator in the Groton Public Schools for 36 years. Prior to becoming a math specialist, she has taught every elementary grade except kindergarten. During Sherry's tenure, she has mentored new teachers starting their teaching careers. She's listened, encouraged, and took time to share valued life lessons. Sherry was an innovative classroom teacher who was always willing to try teaching methods that worked for individual students to meet their learning needs. And she was part of the Charles Barnum faculty when Barnum was named a Blue Ribbon School. These were the skills she honed and that led to her being an effective math specialist and coach. As a teacher leader at Mary Morrison, she has set the tone with her colleagues, whether face-to-face or virtually. Sherry supported instruction by working with teachers to analyze classroom data and help us implement new programs, strategies, and methods in the classroom. Through Mary Morrison Data Team or Intervention Team, whether it's active coaching or modeling lessons, Sherry made a difference at the classroom level. And as Susan Austin can tell you, her work with her math colleagues at the district level has been invaluable. Groton is lucky to have had her as one of our teacher leaders. In retirement, Sherry, we are glad you will get to spend lots of time with your husband and family, and we will miss you all. Mary Morrison and Groton schools will not be the same without you. Today is also the day we celebrate and honor the retirement of our colleague, Sandy Schneider. Sandy has been an outstanding educator in Groton Public School System for 27 years. And when a colleague of Sandy's was asked to talk about her, the first word that came to mind was selfless. Throughout her tenure, she has always gone out of her way to mentor new teachers and to be a support to her colleagues. Sandy personifies what it means to lead by example. Her open door policy and generous personality made it very easy to approach her as she takes pride in building strong relationships. Her impact on her colleagues, parents, and students is commendable. In the classroom, or most recently on Zoom, Sandy was an innovative educator. I was always impressed with her willingness to take a chance with her own new learning to improve her instruction. She incorporated lots of teaching strategies to engage students while making learning fun. She always had a gift of teaching her students to work together in small groups. Sandy showed that you can make a huge impact in a student's life through the day-to-day things that you do with them. There is no question that an awesome teachers like Sandy love to teach. Few of us do it for the money, prestige, or glory, but I'm convinced that she has spent a lifetime teaching children because it brings her an incredible feeling of satisfaction, knowing that she has contributed positively to the future of our kids. As Mrs. Schneider looks forward to spending more time with her husband and family, she should know she will always be a wonderful memory in her students' lives. And I think all Mary Morrison teachers will agree that extends to us as well. Congratulations, Sandy. The next award is our Support Staff Award, and this goes to an especially special person at Mary Morrison. I want to recognize Christina Crandall. She's worked for Groton Public Schools for 6 years and has worked at Mary Morrison School as a manager for 5 years in the food service section. As a food service manager, Chris is usually the first person at school and getting our cafeteria ready for the children's breakfast and lunch. She has done remarkable work during the school closure. She is outside greeting families lined up in cars as she distributes breakfast and lunch to Mary Morrison families, as well as to families from around the district. She is one constant in a very difficult time for some students, and she's always there with a smile and a big greeting of hello. I hope she knows how important that is. One of Chris's strengths is her ability to create positive working relationships with everyone. She takes every opportunity to connect with the staff, students, and families on a regular basis. She works collaboratively with the district food service director, as well as with teachers and administrators to support our school. Community outreach is a strength, and Chris has worked to build a farm-to-school program at Mary Morrison that connects the garden to our cafeteria. Also, she has led an after-school cooking club for students. This past year, Chris took a leadership role in creating a plan to support families who are going through financial hardships. Chris organized a vendor fair for Groton Public Schools in support of the Feed Their Bodies, Fuel Their Minds program. She is credited with raising both money and awareness regarding the financial hardships of some of our students and families. It's all too easy to take for granted what keeps our school cafeteria functioning, but because of Miss Chris's skills, the staff at Mary Morrison is very aware of the contributions of our food service staff. Her enthusiasm for Mary Morrison School has made her a valued and appreciated part of the school community. Thanks from all of us, Chris. Okay, finally, we've waited all night for this very special award. I would like to start by sharing a picture. Let's see, hold on. I guess you can see it now. This is a very special picture of our Groton Teacher of the Year. This is Carrie Leff with the flowers and the big smile in the middle, surrounded by former Groton Teachers of the Year. It's a fabulous picture because it's such a great group of Groton educators. And this was taken shortly after they surprised her with her selection as Groton's Teacher of the Year 2021. Even behind masks, I'm sure you'll recognize some of Groton's finest teachers. But Carrie, all about Carrie tonight. Carrie was nominated by her colleagues as Outstanding Teacher of the Year and selected as Groton's Teacher of the Year because of the dedication she brings to her students, as well as the collaborative spirit she brings to her work with Mary Morrison teachers, and most especially with her grade level team. So you will hear the voice of her colleagues in much of what I say tonight. Carrie's teaching career started right here in Groton almost 10 years ago. I can undo my little picture. Hold on, sorry, shouldn't have done that. So it started almost 10 years ago. She was quickly hired as a second grade teacher at Catherine Kolnaski, straight out of her student teaching placement under fellow Groton Teacher of the Year, Kate Kalman. Even early on, her fellow teachers and colleagues could see the potential in Carrie. After being transferred to Mary Morrison in 2013, Carrie continued to grow and flourish as a teacher. She slid seamlessly into the Mary Morrison family. She joined many committees and dedicated herself to finding ways to encourage student growth and learning. She participated in several teacher college events and trips to New York to work on her craft and learn how to best support the uniquely diverse population of Mary Morrison School. Carrie consistently goes above and beyond for her students, and it is clear every time you walk into her classroom. It is clear because every year, even every few months, her seating, decorations, and lighting are changing to accommodate her students because she knows that each and every class has a different need. It is clear because each class comes with different behavior management strategies that Carrie has read about or learned about from a colleague that will impact the learning environment for her students. It is clear because her home is filled with materials and supplies so she can work in the evenings and on weekends, planning instruction for her students. There isn't a day that goes by that she isn't laminating something, probably on her kitchen table. And it is clear because every time you walk into Carrie's classroom, there's a feeling of community, patience, trust, and love. If you ask Carrie what it is that sets her apart, she will tell you that a huge part of who she is as a teacher has been shaped by watching and learning from her colleagues. She feels fortunate to be surrounded by a staff with such a collaborative spirit and a supportive mindset. What Carrie should know is that she is one of the reasons the bar has been set so high.
Well, now we have a little tradition here. I spoke to Carrie earlier, and
Dr. Grenier?
Oh, you're not finished.
No, I was actually having a moment.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Carrie's so special, though. All right, so when you work with Carrie, you want to be nothing less than perfect. Peggy Meadows, who worked on in Carrie's classroom this year, spoke for all of us when she said, teachers don't just educate their students, they lay the groundwork for their future success. Carrie lays the groundwork by making each student feel that they are important, loved, and valued. Carrie's ability to build confidence in her students and to convince them that they can do anything is so inspiring that it makes us all want to try and do better. But don't just take it from the grown-ups, as a first grader would say. Take it from the reason we are all here, the kids. Her first grade student, Sullivan Deary, said, I think Mrs. Leff is kind, helpful, and fun. She is kind because she doesn't get mad and when I make mistakes. She is helpful because she helps me calm down when I get upset. And she is fun because she makes me laugh. Also, Carrie is a role model for the people around her. Carrie conducts herself like Teacher of the Year every day. She is most deserving to have been selected as our Teacher of the Year, and I have no doubt she will make us proud as she represents Groton in Connecticut's 2021 Teacher of the Year competition, the state's highest recognition honoring extraordinary teachers. Congratulations, Carrie. Okay, now I'm done.
Well, as I started to say, thanks, Kathy, that was fabulous. I spoke with Carrie, and I want to give her the opportunity to say a few words as we usually do at the ceremony. So Carrie, congratulations, and we'd be interested to hear some comments.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Miner. I could not be prouder to be representing Mary Morrison and Groton Public Schools. I'd also like to start by extending my deepest appreciation to the Board of Education, Dr. Grenier, Ms. Austin, and the Teacher of the Year Committee for this incredible opportunity and for holding tonight's ceremony. Moving forward with the yearly tradition of celebrating our students and educators despite the monumental challenges we've faced this year truly speaks to the spirit of Groton Public Schools. I'd also like to say congratulations to all the students that we're celebrating this evening. Your accomplishments are remarkable. And in addition, congratulations and best wishes to all the retirees. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and demonstrating hard work and dedication to staff and students. And to all the friends of education and support staff that we're recognizing, I'd like to personally thank you for the work that you do. I think I can speak for everyone when I say how much we value and appreciate you. The support and services that you provide are a huge piece of doing what's best for kids. And to my fellow teachers being honored tonight, I'm so privileged to be considered for Groton Teacher of the Year along with you all. Your expertise and commitment to teaching and learning is inspiring, and I'm filled with pride to be a member of this special group. I've done a lot of reflecting over the past few weeks, considering how I've come to earn this incredible recognition. And through that reflection, I've traveled back in time to 2010 when my teaching career began during my internship at Catherine Kolnaski Magnet School. I was bursting with excitement, passion, and dedication to becoming the very best educator that I could. And then further energized and encouraged by the teachers who opened their doors to me and demonstrated what excellence in education looks like. When one of those classrooms became my own, it was truly a dream come true. But if you'd asked me then if I could see myself speaking before you all here tonight, I probably would have said no. Not for lack of passion or energy or dedication, but because I couldn't have seen myself in a leadership role then. Over the past 10 years, I've grown professionally and personally in ways I never could have imagined. And the reason that I share this personal anecdote with you is that my professional journey is an illustration of what Groton Public Schools embodies. We support growth and nurture individual achievement to reveal the full potential of every learner. I learned this in those early days as an intern, and it's been at the heart of my work with children ever since. When I found out that I would be representing Mary Morrison as our Building Teacher of the Year, I made a promise to myself and our staff that I would do my very best to represent our school well at the district level. And I make the same promise tonight as I move on to represent Groton Public Schools at the state level. I promise to share my passion for creating a learning environment that reflects and is responsive to the individuality of our students. I promise to demonstrate the importance of continuous reflection and evaluation of our teaching practices and the flexibility needed to ensure that we're providing the very best for students. I promise to share my belief that embracing what is difficult and taking action in the face of challenge leads to positive transformation. I promise that I will do my best to represent all that we are as a district with pride. I can't end without commenting on the power of community and collaboration. No surprise there. If we've worked together before, you probably are familiar with the collaborative spirit of my grade 1 team. Jane Potts, Jackie Reggae, and Kristen Hubbard, whether in first grade or kindergarten, inspire me, give me confidence, and have, without a doubt, shaped the teacher that I am today. And on the days that I'm feeling less than adequate, they are the first ones to jump in with a suggestion, some encouragement, or just a hug, or more recently, a Zoom call to remind me that we're in this together. And not far behind them are any one of our amazing Mary Morrison staff members. Teamwork truly does make the dream work. So as we head into summer, after an unimaginable school year, I wish everyone a safe, healthy, and restful break. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Carrie. No surprise that your comments are filled with passion and inspiration. So thank you, and we'll talk as you go through the summer, and look forward to the fall and the state level recognition. So Chairman Watson, that concludes a wonderful evening of well-deserved praise and recognition for lots of wonderful folks.
Dr. Grenier, I just wanted to say personally, but I'm sure on behalf of the board, this district just rocks. Yeah. Like the comment, the people, how lucky our children and our families are to have all levels of support that that we get from this district. Well done, well done, well done. We have one more, yeah. And I don't know how to do this, Mark Russell. You're gonna have to teach me. I'm kind of spastic. I don't know what to do this. I don't know how to do that. Anyways, so we have one more item left on our agenda, which is because once again, I believe that it's very important that the community has is able to speak to our district. And even though we took out all of our other things that we normally do on the normal meeting, I do want to just have our comments, especially since there's been so much that has happened in our lives in the past couple months with COVID, with our peaceful protest. I just wanted to make sure that people had the right. And I know, Mark, you are somewhere on my screen, that you and I will work together to ensure who is there who wants to speak. But I am going to open this up to say that this is the comments from citizens portion of our agenda. This is the portion of the agenda where the board welcomes comments from citizens. Each presentation should be limited to 5 minutes or less, and citizens should, if possible, submit written comments. Presentations should be related to matters pertinent to Groton. Board members will only ask questions in order to clarify the speaker's presentation and cannot respond during the comments of citizens portion of the board meeting. Citizens should state their name and addresses for the record. It's almost like a manageable screen because we're down to like only 3 screens that we have to move through. Mark, who do we have here that is wishing to speak?
I don't see anyone unmuting their microphones.
Diane, if you could just state your name, your full name, and your address, that would be great.
Good. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you. My name is Diane Kolnaski. I live at 341 Ridgewood Drive in Mystic.
All right, and so you could go right ahead with your comment, please.
Okay. I don't think I'll be 5 minutes, but I'll go as quickly as possible. Again, I've spoken with the Permanent School Board Committee. I've also spoken with members of the Board of Education, with Dr. Grenier, different members of the administration, and I've been really reaching out to everyone because now that we have a turf field in Groton, it has always been my understanding as the Fitch High School field hockey coach for the last 10 years that when we put in a turf field hockey would have lines and we would be able to play our games on that field. So we were very excited when the entire Groton initiative passed, where we were building a brand new middle school and we were adding fields, which were very, very needed. I was especially happy because of the fact that we are the only existing high school sport that currently does not play on a CIAC regulation field. Every other team that Fitch High School, to my knowledge, that Fitch High School has, plays on a field where, should they qualify for a state tournament, they can play a state game on their field. We play on the baseball field. It has 2 different types of a pitch. It is a grass pitch and it's a dirt pitch. We sometimes have to help the custodian maintain that field. If we've had a heavy rain, my husband and I are out there raking out the field with the athletic director, sweeping dirt, getting ready, putting down new lines again at the last minute so that we can play our game. Back in early June, we noticed that lacrosse lines had gone down on that field and soccer lines, but there were no field hockey lines. And we could not understand why, since it had been told to us for, during my 10 years as a coach, that someday when Groton had a turf field, you will be playing on a turf field. So now where it stands is we are the only school in our conference. There is not another school in the ECC that plays on grass/dirt. And that's unacceptable to me. I'm super proud to have been a teacher in Groton for 31 and a half years. I'm still a teacher in Groton on a part-time basis at Butler, and I love working there. And I'm really proud of the fact that I have a great team and proud of all the girls that work so hard to play field hockey for all of us and bring pride to the community. So to see that at this point, field hockey lines are not part of a turf field so that we could at least play our home games on a safe and regulation field, to me is unacceptable. So I'm here again advocating for my team. I know I sent another email today to many people. And I know there are people out there in support of it, including Dr. Grenier, who's been a very good ear and told me that he would like to see us play on turf as well. But since June 2nd, up until June 18th, I've sent many emails, talked to people and everything else. And on June 18th, following a permanent school board building committee meeting, I was contacted with the information that the field hockey lines were not going to be installed yet. It had to be voted on again as an option, like looking at a priority list of what still needed to be done if money was left over. And I guess my position at this point is this never should have been an option. This should have been something, if it involves safety and regulation for a field, for a high school sport, every sport deserves to play in a safe situation. And why it's now an option and on a priority list is just not okay. So again, my last comments are providing safe regulation fields for all our athletes should be a priority in this town. All our student athletes deserve this. We are the only sport that plays on 2 different surfaces, which could cause injuries. Our athletic director advocated for these lines from the start of this project. So please make this a priority and add the permanent lines so that my girls can play. Thank you.
Yes, Diane, you did it. It was underneath 5. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's anyone else here, but I was also received a letter from Heather Holmes, who's a parent, stating the exact same concern that you have presented, Diane. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to submit this, get this scanned, and then it'll be sent to the board because it does state all the same things that you have stated. And so I'm just going to do that, but just so the board knows that you'll be receiving in the board notes or in our next package, you'll have that letter as well. Are there other people from the community that wish to speak?
I'd like to, if I can.
Yes.
Okay, this is Christine Cabral, 66 Latham Street, Groton. I did send a letter too about 2 weeks ago. I think that you said you had distributed it to the board.
Yes, I have.
Okay, great. And this is Allison, my daughter. I want her to kind of see how this process works when you're, as a active community member. She's a senior at Fitch and also plays field hockey. So I'm a Groton taxpayer. My family is heavily involved in Groton Mystic youth sports. And it's an unfortunate truth that in Groton, the constant struggle for equity between boys and girls sports is a real thing. I have 3 daughters on the Fitch field hockey team next year, and we have had only positive experiences with field hockey, and we're excited for the new upcoming season. We were shocked to hear that the lines were excluded from being permanently installed on the field, where lacrosse and soccer were installed. And, we owe it to our girls of Groton to invest in a turf field for their play, with 30 or more high school students playing last year, and it's growing in popularity each year because of its inclusive nature and its skilled competitive play. Playing on the back of the boys' baseball diamond is dangerous for our players and for players from other teams that come. It's disruptive because if it rains prior to a game, the mud makes the game unsafe to play and games are canceled. It's putting our players at a disadvantage. How can we compete when everyone else practices and plays games on turf fields? And these girls are serious athletes that deserve the same respect as the soccer and lacrosse team. And it's not having the permanent lines is really sending a message to the girls of Groton Public Schools that we didn't find their sport worthy of investing in permanent lines and playtime on that turf field. I've heard a lot of rebuttals so far about this. Things like there's going to be a grass field installed next to the turf field that we can use. And that really concerns me and kind of makes my blood boil a little, because that's what I'm talking about. Girls' sports are not second class. When I hear this one, I hear it's only girls' sports. That's not an acceptable answer. Regulation is turf, and we need turf. And then the second rebuttal I've heard is, well, there'll be tick marks and that's where the lines will go and we can paint the lines on and it will last for a few days. I've heard that one. And I find that to be a very weak justification. And I wonder, how can you confirm that there'll be resources and financial and labor resources to ensure that the entirety of the season, these lines are present and maintained? I don't think this is a promise that can be kept. You know, and my follow-up to this is, who decided that field hockey wasn't worthy of permanent lines in the first place? What data was used to make this decision? Was, you know, I'm kind of seeking some transparency in how the decision was made to eliminate girls field hockey and move forward with lacrosse and soccer for adult play. You know, I respectfully thank you for your time and consideration about how we can move forward and get those permanent lines for field hockey put on the turf field. Thank you.
Christine, thank you. Are there other comments from the community? Hearing none, I will close that portion of the meeting. Dr. Grenier?
Yes.
So my understanding about the field is that this is going to go, and Diane, actually, I think that you're the one that actually kind of gave me this information in today's email, is that the permanent school building is still needing to vote on whether they're going to add that. And I know that you guys have been actively involved in going to those meetings to ensure that that happens. Dr. Grenier, am I correct on that?
Yeah. The next step is the next permanent school building committee. I confirmed with the committee that it was the desire of the school system to have the lines permanently installed, so that they're just following their process. So the next step is the permanent school building committee to meet and to hopefully approve that recommendation.
That would be great, and I'm hoping that someone would keep us posted on that, because I have had lots of conversations about that. So that would be nice for the whole board to kind of know how that goes. And if I can just also, I totally support what you were saying about the inequities around women in men's sports. I think it's not just true for Fitch. I think it's true for most places. And I'm just going to ask that you continue to advocate that we have the appropriate fields that are available for all students, whether you're male or female. What ends up happening, and this is not, I'm not blaming anyone, I'm just telling you sort of the hard reality around finances, is that we have put on the budget process is that we have, oh my God, I'm losing my words. We have capital improvement plans, and we submit them in August so that it can be reviewed by the town for whether they are going to support that, because that's actually how our athletic fields would continue to get paid. And what ends up happening is that because of budgetary constraints, oftentimes the fields get cut off of the capital improvement plans. And so we are left with then not having an avenue to kind of support that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it is what it is. How you guys can help is to make sure that the town council and the RTM understand that our town wants appropriate and playable fields, whether you're a male or whether you're a female. That's sort of where that goes. You will have my support. I'll come and I'll stand right beside you to say that. But that has become what has happened. And once again, the town council and the RTM have really hard decisions to make. But unfortunately, oftentimes our tennis courts, our fields get put on the back burner. I'm hoping, and we do have a member of our board is a member of the field committee. And I'm hoping that there's going to be some recommendations that come out of the field committee so that the town can have a plan. I think that was the reason why the town developed this field committee, was that we can have a plan moving forward, because we may not be able to meet budgetarily the needs all at once, but to know what we're going to do next year and in 5 years. So I'm hoping that would happen. Are there any other comments from the board members about what was talked about today?
Hey, Kim, it's Rita. I can really empathize with the field hockey team. When my older son played soccer at Fitch High School, he had to play on the baseball field for 4 years. They did not have a soccer field for the boys' team. I don't know where the girls played. I think they might have been at the oral school. But I mean, it's a very unsafe situation, and I highly advocate that the the field be lined for field hockey, and also that the football field becomes a turf field. That's it.
That would be great. All right. Any other comments from the board members about that? Liz?
Yeah, I just want to also lend my support to this because, quite frankly, we are sending that message is coming out that we are not supporting our girls as well as we support our boys, and that's just not fair. Also, it's not safe. I totally understand, and I totally encourage Diane. I will go to that meeting with Kim and you. I mean, I'll be there too. But this needs to change. Unfortunately, it's in the town's hands. It's not in our hands. So, because we're not in possession of this property yet, and we're not in charge of that property. But, you know, you got my vote, you know.
Thank you, Liz. Anyone else? Gretchen?
Diane, we've known each other forever. You know my boys. You know, I've had the same argument of losing the tennis courts at the current Cutler building, losing the baseball fields down there is really going to impact our boys sports because that's where the Mystic Little League plays. So you need to take, it's a much bigger picture, and it's very frustrating. And so I really appreciate how frustrated you are. And we'll try and help. That's the best we can offer at this moment because budgets are very, very tight.
Thank you, Gretchen. Any other further comments about what was presented by the community? All right, hearing none, I will take a motion for adjournment.
I think we have to have comments from board members.
That was that, Rita.
Oh, that's, usually you go around and that was just about fields.
Because that was the only thing, that was presented today.
Oh, I didn't see that. Let me look back on the agenda. I thought it said comments.
It's the comments section after our.
Oh, you didn't want to do the response, so then we can't say anything else about any other communication we received or anything?
That's not, nope, that got cut from the meeting.
Oh, all right, that's fine. We can do it next time. Thank you.
Before I say motion to adjourn, and I will in a second, I wanted to add, Kim, how much could it possibly cost? How much could it possibly cost? So that's my 2 cents and motion to adjourn.
Have a second? Liz has seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, everyone. Nice summer.
Thank you, guys. Meeting has been adjourned.
Bye.
See y'all later. Good night.